At 2 a.m. under the hollow glow of Nanwu Airport, destiny shifts as Xian Yun drags her suitcase through the empty terminal. Her flight was delayed, but tonight she steps into a story that will blur dream and reality forever. EAW Company has invited her to review their revolutionary VR facilities, covering all expenses. What should be a simple pickup becomes the first thread in a tapestry of fate. Despite confirming her participation, Xian Yun finds herself waiting far longer than expected in the nearly empty terminal. Ms. He from EAW keeps assuring her that a driver is coming, but her patience begins to fray. A friendly stranger approaches, asking if she's here for a holiday. Xian Yun immediately tenses, clutching her suitcase tighter as she replies curtly that she's not interested. The man seems taken aback by her defensive response. When he persists and asks for her WeChat contact, she finally relents under his earnest gaze. The moment their WeChat exchange completes, her suspicions are confirmed. His username reads, "Take a break, bed, and breakfast." The young man introduces himself as Fu Shize, cheerfully telling her to reach out whenever she's free. But then he drops a bombshell that makes her blood run cold. Fu Shize asks casually if she's going to EAW for the VR experience, as if reading her mind. Xian Yun is stunned. How could this stranger possibly know about her plans? He continues, mentioning that it's only starting at the end of the month. Just as the situation reaches peak awkwardness, he reveals that EAW was founded by his older brother. Xian Yun walks toward her pickup area, thinking skeptically that he might as well claim to be the founder himself. Finally, salvation arrives in the form of a message from EAW explaining the confusion. Relief washes over her as she steps outside into the rainy night, standing under her transparent umbrella by the curb. Through the curtain of rain, a car with license plate 6636 appears, and Xian Yun's heart begins to pound for reasons she can't understand. A figure emerges from the car, dark hood pulled up against the drizzle. With each step he takes toward her, something stirs in her chest. Without a word, he quietly takes hold of her suitcase handle. Xian Yun protests that she can handle it, but he's already moving ahead, leaving her to follow with a sincere thank you. As the rain intensifies, she watches him slip slightly while handling her luggage. Poetic thoughts drift through her mind. She feels as though she's witnessed a rainy day's moon, a rare and gentle moment. When he closes the trunk, Xian Yun steps closer, lifting her umbrella over both of them. She offers shyly that the rain is quite heavy and suggests he get some cover. He looks up as she insistently offers the umbrella, their eyes meeting in the rainlit glow. But he simply shakes his head, pulls his hood closer, and replies with calm firmness that there's no need. The car ride creates an atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. Xian Yun reflects on how she's used to sitting silently in taxi back seats, but now in the passenger seat beside this enigmatic stranger, everything feels different. She wipes rain from her sleeves as heavy silence settles between them. She finally gathers courage to apologize for the inconvenience of the late-night pickup. His response is a simple acknowledgement, followed by asking where to when she mentions the Yanjin Hotel. As they drive through blurred city lights, Xian Yun finds herself comparing the two men she's met tonight, noting how different their personalities are, one fiery and loud, the other reserved and quiet. Her internal monologue takes an unexpected turn as she observes that they're both attractive. As they reach the hotel entrance and he prepares to leave in the unrelenting rain, concern tugs at her heart. She calls out, offering him her umbrella with the practical observation that the rain won't stop anytime soon. He stands motionless under the city lights, clearly taken aback by her earnestness. For a few charged seconds, the busy city feels hushed around them. She rushes to hand him the umbrella with a heartfelt thanks before hurrying inside. Through the glass doors, she watches his car pull away into the rain-soaked night, her umbrella now keeping him dry. Later that night in her hotel room, Xian Yun admits to herself that if she were to judge solely based on looks, she likes the driver's type more. But her peaceful reflection is shattered when she suddenly awakens in an unfamiliar, dark place. The same quiet driver approaches her in the shadows, but something feels terrifyingly wrong. He announces they've arrived, but this isn't the hotel. Confused and disoriented, Xian Yun asks where they are. The other man's laughter fills the darkness as he reveals that if she weren't being so stubborn at the airport, he wouldn't have had to resort to this. The driver is the leader of their criminal gang. Xian Yun, terrified, tries to run, but it's too late. A sharp stab echoes through the nightmare. It's the very umbrella she gave to him. Xian Yun jolts awake, relief flooding through her as she realizes it was just a dream. Her phone chimes with a message about arriving at 9 a.m., and she notes she still has time to do her makeup. The impressive Haitian Center looms before her, a massive complex with a large Ferris wheel and sleek modern architecture. Inside EAW's VR facility, the futuristic interior bustles with visitors. Xian Yun admires the venue, thinking the decorations feel so sci-fi. EAW staff member He Jiameng welcomes her warmly, explaining the day's agenda. Disaster strikes when her phone battery dies. Jiameng leads her to the staff lounge where chargers are available. In the elegant lounge, she receives a message from her friend Deng Chuki asking about her arrival. Xian Yun's response that she almost died last night sends her friend into a panic, but she quickly clarifies with a laugh that she just had a dream. The conversation takes a darkly humorous turn when Deng Chuki asks about the dream's details. Xian Yun reveals she dreamt she got stabbed by an umbrella, the same umbrella she willingly lent to her murderer. Her friend's response chills her to the bone, advising her to get that umbrella back. Otherwise, the weapon will remain with the murderer. It's bad luck. As she reads this advice, a shadowy image appears in her mind, the quiet driver from last night holding her umbrella. The coincidence sends shivers down her spine. She dismisses the thought, telling her friend she asked him to leave the umbrella at the front desk. Just then, commotion from outside the lounge draws her attention. Peering through the glass door, Xian Yun's blood runs cold. She sees a familiar figure sitting on the floor with his hands covering his face in apparent distress. It's him, the quiet driver from last night, the same person who appeared as the murderer in her dream. Panicked, she covers her mouth, thinking anxiously whether he could have heard her conversation with Chuki. When he wakes up and speaks, simply saying, "Your umbrella," the words make her blood freeze as she realizes the unsettling parallel between her nightmare and this moment. As she tries to sneak away, the boy stops her, explaining that this is a foldable umbrella that won't be able to stab anyone. She tries to laugh off the awkwardness, nervously asking about umbrellas in general. His matter-of-fact response that she's not strong enough, so it doesn't matter what she buys, completely mortifies her. The embarrassment overwhelms her as she thinks she really wants to hop on a flight and run away. Salvation comes when someone calls out across the crowded facility. Jia Meng approaches with a warm smile, explaining that their boss has arrived and the VIP event is about to start. This interruption provides welcome relief from the mortifying conversation. As Jia Meng leads her through the crowd, Xian Yun notices how excited Jia Meng becomes when talking about her boss. She wonders if staff members normally look so happy when speaking about their boss. Jia Meng beams with enthusiasm, saying her boss is tall and handsome. They approach a group where two tall, attractive men stand together, one wearing glasses and a crisp white shirt with black pants. The other is him, dressed in a black sweater and mask. The well-dressed man with glasses steps forward, introducing himself as Su Kingsong and explaining that today is EAW's entertainment department's trial event. As Xian Yun finds herself near both men, she feels increasingly uncomfortable, thinking it's so awkward every time she sees him because of the waiting room incident. She sets up her filming equipment in a quieter area, wondering why there are no staff members around to provide the promised assistance. Both Su Kingsong and the masked man approach her filming area. Su Kingsong apologizes for yesterday's incident and asks if she needs help. When she mentions wanting to try the program, he places a reassuring hand on the masked man's shoulder and says with a smile that he's up. Despite their mutual reluctance, the assignment has been decided. The VR experience begins with the masked man professionally instructing her to put on the harness system. As Xian Yun settles into the suspended chair setup, her nervousness becomes apparent. She thinks it feels like she's up in the clouds, trying to reassure herself that the staff have tested everything. But when Su Kingsong comments on her first time, panic sets in as she realizes this might actually be his first time operating the equipment. Her fears are confirmed when she asks about training, and he responds with confusion, admitting he hasn't had any. The reality hits her as she asks if she'll get flung out if this isn't secure, and he honestly admits he's not sure. Fortunately, Su Kingsong steps in to reassure her that he's just joking, though he sternly whispers to the masked man to be serious. Taking a more professional approach, he reassures her to relax and explains the safety features. As he helps adjust her VR headset, they work through technical issues. The graphics are blurry and she can't hear the audio. Despite the rocky start, once the system is properly configured, the VR experience transports her into an incredible aerial simulation that exceeds all expectations. Soaring through breathtaking skies and scenic landscapes, her hair flowing dramatically in simulated wind, Xian Yun can only exclaim, "Wow." After removing the headset, she reflects with genuine enthusiasm that although VR isn't as good as real aerial attractions, it's still exciting. The irony isn't lost on her. She was terrified of this VR system's safety, yet she's always wanted to try real aerial attractions that would be far more dangerous. After her VR session, she examines the headset and asks if the game has audio, since she saw characters' mouths move but heard no sound. The masked man, realizing there might be a technical issue, tests the headset himself. He reports that the audio's there, but the right speaker seems faulty, the right side's broken, so audio only comes from the left. Xian Yun touches her ear thoughtfully, thinking that she's naturally deaf in her left ear. She quietly says she might have been too anxious to hear it. The masked man stares at her silently. The trial event ends as everyone gathers in the main area. An announcement echoes that the EAW Nanwu trial has ended. A man approaches Xian Yun, asking how it was. She replies that it wasn't bad. Jia Meng steps forward to address the group, thanking everyone for their efforts and announcing that their boss would like to share with all the creators and invite them to dinner later. Her enthusiasm is infectious as excited murmurs ripple through the crowd. But while everyone buzzes with anticipation, Xian Yun's confidence quietly fades. Her discomfort with social situations becomes apparent as she hesitates, clearly wanting to decline but struggling to voice her reluctance. Before she can excuse herself, Jia Meng directly addresses her, trapping her in the spotlight. Despite her reservations, Xian Yun finds herself at an upscale restaurant, climbing stairs alongside chattering creators and staff. The elegant setting only amplifies her social anxiety. Seated at the table surrounded by people, she thinks miserably that she's not really used to these situations. The woman beside her asks Jia Meng about the hottie in the mask next to their boss, wondering if he's from their company too. Jia Meng replies that she's not sure either. The woman leans closer, asking if she has the boss's WeChat to share. Jia Meng laughs, shaking her head and explaining she's just a staff member. Jia Meng turns to Xian Yun, asking if she managed to see what the boss looks like without the mask today. Xian Yun hesitates, thinking for a moment, then shakes her head and answers that today she didn't. Just then Kingsong arrives with the masked man, who apologizes for being late, explaining he had some issues to deal with. The people present assure him it's no trouble. Kingsong notices Xian Yun and asks Jia Meng if she'd like to swap seats with the masked man since he's feeling under the weather, noting that seat has better ventilation. Soon after, Xian Yun and the masked man find themselves sitting next to each other. Clearly nervous, she wonders why they ended up sitting together. At the EAW trial dinner, Su Kingsong delivers a courteous corporate speech, thanking the creators for their participation. The mood quickly relaxes when one attendee declares the event a success. The atmosphere turns easy and lively with overlapping conversations filling the room. Xian Yun sits in silence, hands folded in her lap. She's torn between joining the chatter and remaining quietly observant. Her gaze strays again and again to the enigmatic masked man seated nearby. They've only crossed paths twice, and she still doesn't know his name. Should she initiate conversation or remain on the sidelines? The convivial mood abruptly sharpens when voices rally for him to take off the mask. Amid teasing, laughter, and curiosity, everyone leans in. For Xian Yun, this moment is strangely heavy. Each previous encounter was marked by shadows or poor angles. She never once managed a good look. Now, under proper lighting, he finally removes the mask. His features are sharp, refined, with an almost exotic allure. Xian Yun feels her curiosity deepen, admiration slipping in despite herself. And then, a pang, a deep, restless familiarity. The thought lingers uneasily about where she's seen him before. The meal is soon served, a spread of delicacies that lights up her expression with childlike glee. Yet no sooner has her heart soared over the feast than someone suggests karaoke. To her dismay, the group is ecstatic. Her plans of slipping away quietly collapse. The group initiates a game of pass the message to decide who pays. The rules are simple. Whispered sentences are passed ear to ear around the table. For Xian Yun, the moment is dreaded. Sitting beside the masked man means she must use her left ear, one that is completely deaf. The thought of exposing her disability or failing openly sends waves of anxiety crashing through her chest. When the moment comes, she starts weakly but swallows the explanation. She tries to brush it away with forced calm, saying it's nothing. Her anxious posture betrays her. The masked man, perceptive, suggests softly that she lean over here a little. His words press her into an intimacy she hadn't expected. Their faces draw close. His eyes fixate on her right ear, intensifying her nervous flush. She wonders frantically if he's noticed her deafness. When he finally leans in to whisper, the message he carefully delivers is the opening line of the Heart Sutra about the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara dwelling in deep perfection of wisdom. Xian Yun is completely baffled, having no idea why he's whispering a religious text. She just stares at him, wondering if he realized about her deafness from the simulation earlier. Curious about her reaction, Jia Meng asks her about it. Xian Yun whispers it to her exactly as he did. Jia Meng bursts out laughing, and when it's time to pass along the message, she takes a deep breath and confidently declares she got it. The answer is that the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara wants to eat perfection. Her completely fabricated Buddhist-themed interpretation makes the room erupt in laughter. After the game concludes with their table being declared the winner, King Song announces gratefully that their table narrowly won. As the group begins to move, Xian Yun reaches out to the man and directly asks him, since he asked her to lean over earlier, does he know that she can't hear out of her left ear? His response is straightforward and practical. It's just the rules. He then adds with consideration that he can't let another person hear it. As they settle into the venue, the social media aspect of the gathering becomes apparent. Someone announces they should remember to watch their live stream while promoting content, and another person philosophizes that one more friend means one more connection. The focus on networking and content creation highlights the professional nature of many attendees. Xian Yun sits quietly on the curved seating, holding her phone and observing the animated group around her. She notices the masked man's conspicuous absence and wonders if he didn't come along. His disappearance seems significant given their recent moment of connection. The group's conversation turns to gossip about his absence. Someone asks Su Kingsong directly where that hottie went and why he isn't there to help foot the bill even after losing. Su Kingsong provides a brief explanation that he's not well, so they should cut him some slack. His response is diplomatic, but offers little detail. As Xian Yun listens to this chatter, she finds herself reflecting on the situation with growing kinship with the absent man. She thinks that if she knew they could skip this, she wouldn't be here either, recognizing their shared reluctance about these social gatherings. Her thoughts begin to explore whether their mutual avoidance stems from introversion or something deeper, but she's interrupted. Jia Meng calls out to her, asking if she wants to use the restroom since she doesn't really want to use the en suite in the room. The suggestion offers a welcome break from the karaoke environment. Xian Yun readily agrees, grateful for the opportunity to step away. In the restroom by the sinks, Jia Meng notices something about Xian Yun's ears and comments with curiosity about why they're so red. She clarifies her observation that actually, just her right ear is red. Xian Yun touches her ear, surprised by this revelation, saying it did feel warm. She responds with genuine uncertainty that she's not sure why. Jia Meng giggles knowingly and offers a teasing suggestion about whether it's because that hottie came too close during the game. Her playful tone indicates she's picked up on the romantic tension that others may have missed. This comment makes Xian Yun realize that her physical reaction to the masked man's proximity during the telephone game was more obvious to observers than she thought. She nervously denies any romantic interest. Jia Meng continues gossiping about the masked man, saying he's such an iceberg who won't hold conversations with others but tries to chase girls. Changing topics, Xian Yun asks if she doesn't know who he is. Jia Meng honestly admits she doesn't, maybe because she's always in the main department. As they come out of the restroom, Jia Meng shares workplace gossip. He seems to be a big boss who's been helping out in recent work and will probably move up in rank soon. Her eyes are going to be blessed by working with a hottie. But she adds honestly that these people with connections don't have a good work ethic, and moreover, this hottie seems difficult to approach. Xian Yun responds neutrally that it's not really like that. Didn't Su Kingsong say he wasn't well? Maybe that's the reason. Jia Meng responds that it's true, she forgot about that. She suggests they go continue socializing. After karaoke, Xian Yun collapses onto her bed with an exasperated sigh, wondering why she even went to something so tiring. She gazes at the ceiling thinking about Jia Meng's earlier words. Touching her ear, she murmurs that it's not warm anymore. The next morning, Xian Yun sits on her sofa with her laptop and camera nearby, clearly between creative projects. She checks her phone and sees a message from Hee Jae-moo offering to book her return flight, mentioning that other participants have already left. Xian Yun replies that she's not returning yet and will extend her hotel stay herself, wanting to spend more time in the city. Jae-moo responds warmly, hoping to see her again soon. Just after finishing the chat, her phone rings with a call from her younger brother, Yun Yi. The cheerful ringtone sets a warm, familial tone. Answering playfully, she teases him to state his name and position. Is he a messenger or her younger brother? The boy's slightly exasperated, but fond reply confirms their sibling bond. Yun Yi expresses concern about their parents' worry and traditional mindset. Xian Yun, leaning back clutching her phone, shares frustration about always having to report her whereabouts, feeling like a child. She longs for independence to prove she can take care of herself. Yun Yi encourages her to keep trying to talk to their parents, suggesting she express what she wants, not just complaints. Touched, she smiles faintly, grateful for his support. As afternoon sun filters through her window, she privately resolves to have a serious conversation with her parents soon. Hours later, the family gathers around the dining table, tension thick in the air. Her father launches into an angry tirade, accusing her of lying about her postgraduate plans and demanding she either find a job or apply locally, dismissing her desire to study away. Xian Yun stands firm, admitting her mistake, but asserting that she got a postgraduate place at Nanjing University of Science and Technology. With steady determination, she declares this is her problem to deal with and she'll make her own decisions. Her father retorts with a final ultimatum: as long as he's her father, he'll have a say. Her mother watches anxiously, and younger brother Yun Yi sits silently, caught in the family conflict. The next morning, Xian Yun sits in her apartment, laptop open and camera in hand as she gets ready for her first day in the new city. The phone rings, and her brother's voice comes through, anxious and frustrated. He asks when she's going back, complaining that he's about to become a punching bag for both sides now. Xian Yun replies that she will probably not go back. She's determined to focus on settling into her new surroundings, not ready to return to old conflicts. Her brother freaks out, asking if she's really not afraid of getting beat up by their dad. Xian Yun thinks quietly as she removes a memory card from her camera that if she goes back, she'll definitely be beaten up. She reassures him that she's planned ahead and Deng Chuki is around too. It's not like she's alone. With the call over, Xian Yun sighs and looks at her laptop. She decides to use her free time for video editing, keeping herself busy and productive while waiting for her new life to start. Xian Yun scrolls through her media library and finds a clip from yesterday's recording. The footage shows a scene after her trial, where the woman from yesterday insists on being put into the trial next. The masked man refuses, telling her to find another staff member. Xian Yun removes the camera, apologizing for forgetting to take it off. As she watches the recording, the thought crosses her mind. She hasn't expected the camera to still be running. Just then, a new file arrives, labeled Miss Xian Yun's trial program. She replies with a polite thanks and opens the folder, discovering several video clips. She spots a thumbnail with the masked man and opens that one first. In the video, the masked man conducts the trial, never once looking at the camera. Xian Yun wonders if the footage is captured accidentally during a preset trial run. Leaning back, she muses at how familiar the scene feels. The masked man, too, seems oddly recognizable. Suddenly, realization strikes. Xian Yun's hands fly to the keyboard as she begins searching frantically. She pulls up an old article titled, "The Moment Group Unique won at the 8th Annual National College Robotics Championship." Images and memories flood back. She remembers the celebration and the champion, a young man whose impressive performance and leadership had left an impression on many. Details from the article confirm what she suspected. The event had gone viral, and the main guy from the robotics group was hailed as a prodigy. She recalls seeing this news during her final year of high school, when she was just an average student in a remote town. His team's achievement inspired ambition in countless students across the country, herself included. Reflecting back, Xian Yun remembers how his story had motivated her and so many others to dream bigger. She had admired him from afar, his example a guiding light during her youth. With another glance at her screen and newly rekindled excitement, she finally sees it, his name. Fu Shize, the top scorer of the Nanwu City National College Entrance Examination Science Division. She focuses on the name and his image, a surge of disbelief and hope mixing within her thoughts. The realization spreads through her, tying her present to the dreams she held years ago. Xian Yun meets her friend Deng Chuki at a cozy cafe, the two sitting by the window as warm sunlight spills across their table. Deng Chuki suggests lightly that instead of dealing with renting, she should come live with her since she even has a good housemate. Xian Yun hesitates, answering carefully that she worries her live streams will disturb others. It's easier if she stays alone. Her work setup is important, and she doesn't want to be an inconvenience. Her friend understands and smiles, reminding her that the place she's renting is close anyway, so they'll meet often. The two eat comfortably, conversation rolling easily. When her friend mentions missing the VR gallery event, Xian Yun replies with a small grin that it wasn't bad. She could play and still earn money. Suddenly, Deng Chuki's eyes start sparkling. She asks who else was invited. Anyone famous? Any eye candies? Xian Yun only laughs, explaining that the guests were mostly tech and lifestyle figures, not celebrities. Yet something in her hesitation hints at a name worth remembering. She asks Deng Chuki if she remembers a video that went viral called "Moon Among the People" when they were in senior high. Chuki's eyes go wide with realization as she exclaims about that genius from Zifu Science and Tech Lin, the very person Xian Yun admired for 7 years, Fu Shize. Chuki can't help but tease her, recalling the posters of Fu Shize on Xian Yun's bedroom wall and her unwavering admiration throughout their school years. Blushing, Xian Yun hides her face, protesting that her friend is exposing her too much. Memories of her schoolgirl crush flood back, mingling embarrassment with nostalgia. Her friend grows curious about why she's mentioning him now, since they haven't heard about him in years. Xian Yun admits softly that she thinks she met him at the EAW event. The realization stuns her friend, especially when Xian Yun recalls the surreal dream from that night, the one where someone pierced her with an umbrella. To her shock, the figure had been Fu Shize. Chuki frowns, observing that based on Xian Yun's description, the worker seems dark and depressing, something that doesn't resemble Fu Shize at all. In the past, Fu Shize's brightness captured everyone's attention. Now, after seeing him again, Xian Yun notes how reserved and unsociable he appears. The shine from back then seems shrouded by dark clouds, fading into silence and isolation. Chuki questions whether Xian Yun could have mistaken him for someone else, suggesting that maybe the worker only resembles Fu Shize. Xian Yun agrees that it's possible. When Chuki asks if Xian Yun still admires him, Xian Yun flusters, insisting she's just curious. Yet her hesitation betrays that curiosity may not be the only thing stirring inside her. A few days later, after helping her friend with shopping, Xian Yun finds herself busy with moving into her new place. Restless one night and craving fried noodles, she heads out into the lively streets near her old school. The familiar buzz of chatter and the warm glow from restaurant windows stir up waves of nostalgia, old memories surfacing as she walks beneath the moonlit sky. As she looks at her phone, a stranger steps from the shadows, voice soft yet unsettling, asking if she's alone. The night takes an unexpected turn when Xian Yun is suddenly stopped by two unfamiliar young men. One, with striking blue hair and a sleeveless shirt, greets her confidently with a "nice to meet you." Startled, Xian Yun freezes, clutching her bag tightly, her wide-eyed expression shouting silent confusion. The second man, reeking of alcohol, teases his friend, asking why he's acting like a gangster. But the grinning blue-haired one dismisses it, insisting he only wants to invite her for supper. Xian Yun, trying to remain calm, excuses herself, saying her friend is waiting ahead. But instead of moving, the man blocks her path with a smirk, saying sure, he'll let her through, but she should bring her friend too, the more the merrier. Her unease builds as their banter grows louder. Outnumbered and pressured, Xian Yun forces a polite agreement to slip away. But as soon as she rounds the corner, her heart skips. Standing quietly beneath the streetlight is a young man in a plaid shirt, cigarette in hand. Her breath hitches. In disbelief, she blurts out his name, Fu Shize. Relief floods her at the sight, but before she can draw closer, the blue-haired man and his friend catch up. One rests a hand on her shoulder with a sly grin, saying that since she's not meeting anyone, they should grab supper. Xian Yun stiffens, nails pressing into her palms. Just as fear wells up, Fu Shize waves at her. Relief shows on her face. But as she starts to walk away, the blue-haired man asks Fu Shize, "Bro, do you know her?" Xian Yun freezes, panic evident, wondering if they know each other. She recalls her dream where the other man mentioned Fu Shize was their gang boss. Fu Shize fixes his gaze on the blue-haired man and asks calmly what is wrong with him. The blue-haired man steps forward and says he only wanted to bring Xian Yun along for supper, that's all. Fu Shize then asks Xian Yun if she wants to go with him. She shakes her head heavily, declining. Fu Shize's voice turns firm. He tells the blue-haired man that since she doesn't want to go, he should apologize to her. The blue-haired man instantly grows furious, but finally relents under Fu Shize's unwavering gaze. He apologizes, saying his head is foggy and he doesn't know why he acted that way, asking her not to take it to heart. Though still anxious, Xian Yun accepts the apology. The drunk is dragged away by his friends, muttering half-hearted protests. At last, Xian Yun can breathe again. Standing before the warm glow of a nearby restaurant, she turns to Fu Shize and thanks him quietly. His calm eyes linger on her as he asks what she called him earlier. Caught off guard, she stammers out Fu Shize. Correcting her gently, he says Z. Her fluster only deepens. He watches quietly, then asks how she even knows his name. Panicking, her imagination runs wild. Should she tell him she stalked him online? No way, that would make her seem like a pervert. Flustered, she quickly settles on saying she heard from the people at EAW that they were colleagues. He nods, accepting the explanation, then shifts focus, asking why she's here alone so late. She laughs nervously, admitting she wanted fried noodles but maybe should just order delivery. Calm and decisive, Fu Shize puts out his cigarette and asks where the place is. She points toward the canal, but before she can say more, he simply tells her they should go. Surprised, Xian Yun falls into step beside him. Under the glow of the street lamps, the two walk together down the golden-lit street. Beneath the starry night, what began as danger transforms into quiet companionship, an encounter that reconnects past and present and hints at something deeper waiting ahead.